Everybody, it's Carol. I don't want to freak you out, but I actually have the rest of the class built. I know. Big round of applause. I don't know if you'll be that excited when you see it, but I'm pretty, I'm pleased. I think it's great. So anyway, I've got all the modules. So these that I call mods because again, when I was building this class, I didn't realize I was going to be competing with the word module in MindTap. So I have my web pages that talk about each section of work are all built. Those are new. These have been open. You're all already working on those. And then I added the, I think these were open as well. I added the Excel assignment. And let me tell you about that one. I worked with a faculty the last 18 months or so to build some assignments for his ed tech class. And so when I went through our Excel and I saw what we were doing, I called them and I said, where's that assignment we built that blah, blah, blah. So I pulled that assignment in for this course because I think it applies and I think it's useful for your future. So his voice is on the video, but all the curriculum we developed together. And it's really funny because that's the only video in the course that's his voice. The rest of it's all my voice. But I didn't put my videos in because you've learned all that stuff when you were going through your SAM trainings. Um, so there'll be some review in his video. His video is 47 minutes long. So, but he has time markers. So if you want to just listen to it in sections as it applies to each page in the assignment, you can do that. Um, it's review. It's not anything new. You learned much more in the MindTap, but I think it's really good. And I like you'll see the instructions are far more than you've ever seen me give you or probably anyone else. And so I think it's a really good it's a really good example of what happens when you have time to develop an assignment. You can have these very detailed instructions. So yeah. So you should consider that Excel one more like what my norm will be because it's pretty awesome description wise. All right, then you're going to create some subpages on your Weebly and add your Excel assignment. Just embed it. If you embed it, it will look prettier than if you just insert it. And I'll explain why that's important in just a minute. Okay, so the next section I have for you is access. It's all open and ready to go. And instead of having you create something from scratch, I have you do the two projects, the capstone projects, and those are going to be, that is your access assignment. So, and I'll show you in just a minute, we'll go over to Blackboard and I'll go through this access assignment one. This is basically screenshots. It's not basically, it is screenshots from project one and project two. So, make sure you read the access assignment one instructions and then take pictures when you're doing these two assignments because you're going to submit those pictures here to show competency in access. Then you're going to use those pictures to create a subpage in Weebly and some narrative to explain what you're doing and show what you learned how to build in access. All right, and then the last module here, which is really funny because the due date is actually before finals week, here, which basically means you should probably do this during Thanksgiving. It's very short. There aren't a lot of things in each one. There's no assignment, so you'll just do the trainings, and then your signature assignment is a compilation of what you've already done. So it's nothing new. It's just an assembly to demonstrate competency. Because these signature assignments are for you to demonstrate what you've learned, both to future employers, but also to anybody evaluating the college. So you'll understand this more when I get to that assignment, which I've built already too. So dun, 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 that's the whole class. Your whole class is built. You can work ahead. I would highly recommend working ahead, especially if you can get through these. Excels are kind of gnarly. This Excel module 8, 9, 10, 11. You're going to do the trainings, but I didn't add any projects in there. And then this Excel assignment 1 is the one that I brought over from Scott, that Scott and I collaborated on. It is not going to use the skills that you learned here. I think that's more, I think that'd kill you. So I'm not going to do that. So that's it. That. Okay. I believe that's it on the calendar. So yay for that. Woohoo. I'm just even gonna like save and close it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Here is my webpage. So once you look at the calendar, you want to come to this next, and you can see all these beautiful modules are all done. That is it. So I think I finalized 5 today. Put in a different picture. There it is. Okay. Updated the objectives. You can read through all this. So you can read through each one of these modules as you're going through them. They really are just basically a recap of the calendar, just a little bit more narrative. Okay, I won't go through all those, but you get the picture. What I do want to show you is the assignments here in our 415. So you'll do your work in MindTap, and then these are the ones you've already done. Here's your OneNote. Done, 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 done. Here's the Excel assignment. So this is what I'm saying about it being extensive in instructions. So Scott's so funny. He always writes these questions and he ends it with comma professor. So I tried to take that out, but I see I missed one here. You're going to make a 4-sheet Excel assignment. Again, I realize playground sheet is probably not applicable to your career goals, but just roll with me on that because this is actually, he calls it a playground because he wants, and I want you to try different skills. Here's the tutorial. It's basically the instructions. There's the 47 minutes. The first 5 minutes, you could probably multitask, wash some dishes, and watch him go through some tips and tricks. And really, they're just things, like this whole assignment was built off of real life projects that we used Excel for in the working world, like as teachers. Scott taught middle school and I taught high school. And so all of these 4 sheets are things we actually used, like really made for realsy. So go ahead and go through, read all of this, and then there's a sample of what the assignment should look like when it's done. Sheet 2, a sample. Instructions, sheet 3, a sample, and 4. And wouldn't it be nice if every assignment looked like this? I don't know, maybe that's too much and you guys are like, too much information, but yeah, it's pretty good. All right, here we go back to smaller ones. Okay, so this is what I was talking about with Access. You're going to do 2 capstone projects. And for the assignment in Blackboard, you're just going to submit 3 screenshots of your work. So I'm looking to see that you are doing the work so the pictures can be in design mode or in the opposite of design mode. I want to call it like run mode, but I don't remember what it's called. And you should show your database as well as your form because you're going to be working on both of those. I don't think you do any reports in this project when I look through the instructions. If you do a report, I would take a screenshot of that too because those are 3 pivotal skills with database design. And then last here is your task stream signature assignment. And so you're going to basically take the snips of the assignments and add them to a Word document that I've created for your viewing pleasure. Let's see if the link works. And it does. Yay. So what I've done here is you're going to put in your name, and I already put in everything else for you. I discussed each of the programs that we were using. And then in the second column, I wrote out what those what the skills were that you learned. And then here, you're going to get rid of the bracket, but you're going to put in the picture of your Weebly. So it's sort of like, here's the project, here's the software, here's the objectives or the things we studied, and here's an example of how I used it. So you're demonstrating competency in all the objectives and showing that you met the objectives of the course. Now, this is super boring to look at, so please take time to pretty it up with colors or fonts, or you might want to turn these words like vertical so they're going up and down. And then you can make this column more narrow and you'll have more room for your picture or whatever. Anyway, play with the formatting on this, make it your own, add a watermark, whatever you'd like. And that is the last thing. So you will upload this Word document with all the stuff in it to two places. You'll put it in TaskStream and you'll put it in Blackboard. Now, I don't have TaskStream set up yet. I have to get with another person, Dr. Campbell, and get that all sorted out. So I have, 7 weeks to do that. Hopefully, I won't be doing that the last week of school. But you have everything you need to finish the course and even finish it early if that's what you would like to do to make the rest of your semester a little easier. Okay, I gave you a lot of information. Let me know if you see any errors or anything's not showing. And otherwise, I will talk to you when you need help and I'll be giving you feedback on your assignments. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what you guys do. All right, bye.